From the Russ Center for Media in downtown Cape Girardeau, welcome to Focus on Southeast, a program on issues, events, and people impacting Southeast Missouri State University and the broader region. I'm Dan Woods with KRCU Public Radio. Later on today's show, we'll get an update on the latest happenings with the SEMO Marching Band and with the Cape Girardeau Public Library. But first, Jennifer Weiss is with us. She's Director of Learning Assistance Programs and the Center for Writing Excellence here at SEMO. Jennifer, welcome to the program.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So tell us about the Learning Assistance Programs here at the university and what your mission is.
Okay, I'd love to. Thank you so much. Learning Assistance Programs is an academic support center, and we offer a wide variety of resources and have a diverse team of learning assistants to cover all the topics and all the courses that SEMO offers. And I'm sorry, it's our mission to work with students individually to help them identify any barriers that they might have to learning, and then to work with them to help develop a plan, strategies to overcoming those challenges. And our tutors are trained to help identify all these different issues that go into learning. So it may be concept review and understanding specific skills for a course, or it could be those other skills associated with learning, like developing effective study habits or note-taking skills.
Let's talk about some of the different labs. I know there are several. Let's start with the writing lab and talk about that a little bit.
Oh, the writing lab. That is actually where I started my career at SEMO. It's a great place. It's exactly what you think. It's where writers can come to work on any kind of writing at all, at any stage in the writing process. And our tutors are a great blend. Most of them come from the English department, as you might imagine, but we do have them from across. We have history majors and people from the River campus.
And the Writing Center is not just for writing papers. Authors come to the Writing Center, can use that facility too, right?
That's right. It is one of our services that's open to the community. So any community writer is welcome to come. We do prioritize students and faculty and staff, as you can imagine, but it is some community outreach that we provide.
So that has to be a really good resource. A lot of authors probably drop in periodically, I would imagine.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to work with them on novels and biographies and
You get a sneak peek, maybe.
Right.
Mathematics Learning Center too. There's help for folks with math.
That's right. That's another one of our skills labs, and that is completely devoted to math. Most of the students there are in math classes, but every once in a while they sneak math in a non-math class, and we're there for students too. So whatever it might be, if it's math related, they're welcome to go to the math lab.
Now, headquarters is in Kent Library, but you told me you really try to be where students are at and where they need help, right?
Yeah, that's one of our goals, is to meet students where they are, not just academically, but physically as well. So we are centrally located in Kent Library with our main location, but then we have several satellite locations around campus, such as the Harrison College of Business and Computing. They have a pretty tough core foundation to some of the programs, and then we're there to support the students through those courses.
How many students do you have working in helping you do all of these different areas that you have to cover?
Well, we have a pretty small staff. We have 2 coordinators and an administrative assistant, and then we do rely on students, so it's a great opportunity for our students to get that experiential learning. We have a total of 4 graduate assistants who help in various ways, and then we have about 40 learning assistants who are mostly undergraduates, but a few graduate students as well.
Do you have, I'm sure you have some, just those moving stories where students have come to you after they've been helped by one of the labs and just tell you, this was so great for me, so helpful? Absolutely.
We actually have shout out boards in our areas to celebrate that, and post it, as long as the learning assistants are okay with the publicity.
Do you ever find that the students come to you and they get services and they come back to say, we didn't know this was here. This is fantastic.
We do. Every once in a while we'll have a faculty member who encourages or maybe requires a student to come visit us. And then once they do, they're like, I didn't know this was here, but I'll be back. And it's a completely free resource for our students, so it's a good deal.
So there's tutoring too, so I guess that's another there's so many different things that you all do.
There's so much that goes into learning and so many different ways to learn that we want to fit that. So we do have the skills labs, and then we have course specific tutoring as well, where we work either one-on-one with students or in small groups, or we even have group study sessions as well.
And you coordinate all of that?
Well, with a lot of help.
With a lot of help. There was another one I wanted to ask you about, the networking lab. So I guess that's something that's another service that folks can take advantage of.
Very niche. That one is computer networking.
Okay.
And so they have a lot of sophisticated equipment and programming, and they have an open lab and have let us set up shop over there to help the students.
Yeah. What do you find most rewarding about your job?
The stories, the engagement with the students. That is my absolute favorite part. I like it when students just drop in. One of my favorite parts is kind of problem solving and matching too, when a student comes in with a unique learning challenge and then matching and getting down to the bottom of it and coming up with a plan, and then having the student feel like there's hope. And So when you were a student here, and I think you were here originally, was this something that you took advantage of? Did you know about the center and that spurred you into wanting to be a part of it? I'd love to say that I did, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I was involved with the writing lab as an undergrad a little bit, and then that was born into the start of my career with the writing lab.
So any plans, any things you'd like to do maybe over the next, let's say the next year or so, that some changes you'd like to see happen to maybe add a service or change the way something is working now?
I would like to continue to grow our presence across campus to better meet the students. The students get very comfortable in the buildings where they're learning, and it makes sense for them to get the supplemental learning there too. So we'd like to increase our presence across campus.
Yeah, and you work with the regional campuses too. That's probably over maybe Zoom, but I guess you help them too,
It
right?
is. We use campus Microsoft Teams for virtual meetings, and it's not limited to regional or online students. Campus students can take advantage of the virtual options as well, but it was designed for our distance learners.
Yeah. Well, Jennifer, it's been good talking with you, and let's let students know if they happen to watch this, how can they get more information about the Learning Assistance Programs?
Our SEMO students know all about SupportNet. It's a platform for student success, so they can absolutely reach us through that. They can raise a flag, email us, call us, drop by. They are welcome to contact us in any way possible.
Well, thank you so much for being here. It's good talking with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Dr. Jim Daughters. You're watching Focus on Southeast. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Focus on Southeast. The SEMO Marching Band has created powerful musical experiences since 1907. Founded just 2 years after Academic Hall was built, the Marching Band has more history than the Missouri state flag and the university alma mater. Dr. Jim Daughters is the Director of Bands, and he's here with us to talk all things band. Hey, Jim.
All things band.
All
Thanks
things
for having
band.
me.
And you wore your band thing and everything.
I did. It's fall band weather now, so I'm in sweatshirt mode.
Okay, so tell us about some of the latest happenings with the Marching Band.
Sure, we've been all over the place this fall. I feel like we of course do all of our home games. We just finished our homecoming game, of course, and the SEMO District Fair Parade we did earlier. We travel every fall to recruit students and to serve as ambassadors for the university. So this year we went over to Murfreesboro, Illinois, and played at their marching band contest. There were 22 high school bands there, I think, which is such a great recruiting tool for us. Bands from Paducah through St. Louis and that sort of thing. We went to Fox High School, just south of St. Louis, to do an exhibition. It's a huge number of students there, almost 5,000 people in the stadium, which was really cool. that we played for. And then just a few weeks ago, we played at Jackson for their band festival. So we've been busy. Still a couple games left to go.
So how much of your time is spent recruiting? Quite a bit, I'm going to guess.
Quite a bit, yeah. And it's interesting with the marching band. Over 60% of our students are not music majors. So we're not just recruiting music majors. Wow. We're recruiting people to the university as a whole. So, you know, it's just like any other college or any other organization. We have to go recruit kids and bring them to campus. So. Yeah. Our students, some little fun fact about the marching band, 22 states are represented in the marching band, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
And 2 continents. We have 3 students from Brazil that are in the marching band, first time ever marching, and that's really cool.
I was going to ask you about that. So the diversity of the band, it's huge, and every college represented, right? I mean, it's such a cross-section of the entire university.
Absolutely, and almost, you know, I think we counted 65-ish majors, I think, are represented in the marching band, and it's just a really great and diverse group of people.
Let's talk growth. I think the band's been gradually increasing, hasn't it, in size? Where are we at now, and where would you like to be?
We're around 170. We're, you know, just like the university, we kind of ebb and flow with things and recruiting. This year, I think, was our largest recruiting class. We've had almost 90 students in the marching band this fall that are college freshmen. And then, of course, the more that we retain and the more that we, you know, keep putting our product out for people to come on to be a part of, you know, that helps us tremendously.
What's your secret to growing the band? Is there some things or some goals that you keep in mind when you're doing your recruiting?
Yeah, I think the first thing that comes to mind, this is my 25th year of teaching, and 16 of that was in a public school. But what I tell all of my students, it's 100% about relationships. The relationships you build with students, with band directors, with the community. That's how we grow, that's how we invest. And those students go on, of course, and they become teachers, and they give back, and they send us future students. But it's, to me, being a great teacher is all about great relationships. I tell my students, you have to love people, you have to love teaching, and you have to love music. And if you have that trifecta, it's infectious. People want to be a part of that. Yeah. The other thing I say, too, about the band is the quality. Those students are really good. And when they play halftime shows and do parades, they're just. I always go up in the stands and sit with the crowd to watch the band. I get off the field because I love watching it from a distance to see their passion and their fire. I just love that. I get giddy talking about it. It's just infectious. So.
Well, when you were on KRCU Strike Up the Band with Bob Gifford, one of the things you talked about was that, you know, that pride and how the students really take ownership of the band. It's all student-led everything, right? That's important too.
Sure. I say I'm just the pretty face of the organization, but really, for all of those students, you know, they're majoring in different things, and they all need experience. You know, they're future business leaders, they're future entrepreneurs, they're future teachers. Yeah. They all need experience doing and leading in a way that they're going to do once they graduate. So I know that we're pushing experiential learning quite a bit here at the university, and we very much believe in that with the band, that you need experience doing the thing before you go do the thing. So it's very much student-led, and the leadership program is fantastic, and you know, we're there to help guide and support and teach, of course, but we take a lot of pride in the ownership that students have for the organization.
And something that the crowd, when they come to a game, may not realize, but you all key in on, is when it's a break and the band plays, people stay in their seats and they're not running to get a Coke or whatever. I mean, that's big for you guys, right?
I think we're really proud of that. But when we get to halftime, the grandstands stay full. And after we play, then everyone goes and takes their break. But I think that speaks a lot to the relationship that we have with the community and the university. We invest a lot. We're ambassadors. And you know, for our students, we preach that leadership is 100% service. And I think when you have those relationships with people and you're investing in the community and we have a fun product, people want to stick around and watch. And it's not like that at every university. It's not like that at every high school. And I think it's really unique to us. And I love it. I love that people stay and watch.
What kind of impact can being in the band have on a student?
I think there's several things, and I wouldn't say just band, but even when I was a public school teacher, when you're involved in more than just going to class, I think that helps you in so many different ways in being a successful student, but in investing in community and friends and campus life, all of those things. And band is one avenue that students have to do that. I'm very mindful that we are largely a non-music major organization, but it gives those students a place to belong. It gives those students a place to call home other than just going to their classes. And I think just the camaraderie, the confidence, the rapport, the relationships, I think it's such a unique thing that we offer.
I want to shift gears just a bit and talk about Wind Symphony, because that's something else. You talk about some of the things happening now with the Wind Symphony, which has been growing too, I think.
Wind Symphony, we give 2 concerts every fall. Now that's mostly music majors. Those are students who are going to be professional musicians in some way, or they're going to be teaching music. We have concerts coming up, but our big future concert is we're going to Cincinnati Music Hall, the home of the Cincinnati Symphony, and we're playing a full concert in Music Hall, and that's March 22nd, 2026. It's a Sunday, and that's really big for us. And we're playing at 4 high schools, just doing recruiting concerts, but playing in one of the nation's premier concert halls of just. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited that we get the opportunity to do that.
And you're probably already preparing for it, right? Or soon to be, I would imagine.
I've been preparing for that since, 6 months ago. Yeah. So everything, Wind Symphony Marching Band, what you see on the stage or what you see on the field, know that there's about 12 months of planning that's gone into that product. So it's always a cycle. We're already thinking about next year's marching band show and what we're doing next year with Wind Symphony. So
and a lot of practice. How many days a week? 3-4 days a week?
Well,
probably? I don't know.
it is a lot of practice, but marching band for us is just a class, just like Wind Symphony. Marching band meets 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Unless, a few days ago it was pouring down rain, and we don't want to do that to students. So, it's a regular class time, and as we're getting stronger and better, we're more proficient getting ready to do what we need to do for our fans and the audiences.
We've got about a minute left. So what are some things on the horizon, besides the concert in Cincinnati? Anything else in the works?
Well, Wind Symphony on River Campus, there's always events on River Campus, whether it be jazz band, Wind Symphony, concert band. We have a lot of high school students that come to us in February for the Bob Gifford Band Festival, usually a couple hundred high school students, and we're flying in a guest composer. We're doing a premiere of his 2nd symphony, so that's big. That's coming up in February. Just a lot of events on River Campus that are really for everybody. Every single person in Southeast Missouri can find something that they'll love on the River Campus.
And there's nothing like going to a live performance, right?
Live music is the best thing there is. It's so much better than hearing it on the radio. Go listen to it live. It's awesome.
Dr. Jim Daughters, always good to see you. Thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll head off campus and to the Cape Girardeau Public Library. This is Focus on Southeast. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Focus on Southeast. The Cape Girardeau Public Library has a long history in Cape Girardeau, dating back over 100 years. The library recently announced that it will receive a grant from the Carnegie Corporation of New York in 2026. Library Director Katie Earnhart is here to tell us about that news and other library happenings. Hey, Katie.
Hi, nice to be here.
Good to have you here. So big news about this grant coming in 2026.
Yes, it was a complete surprise.
So weren't expecting it at all?
No.
Okay, that's even better.
Several months ago, they reached out through email, the Carnegie Corporation, and they were just trying to update their records of all of the libraries that the Carnegie Foundation had supported 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Just what are you doing? Are you still in operation? Are you still in your original building? And so I was just, I'm going to fill out this survey.
Well, yeah.
And evidently it made us eligible for this money.
That's the best type of surprise, right? So that's really exciting news. So what are some other things happening? I know there's a lot we could talk about. We'll have to kind of narrow it down, but what are some things in the works now?
Yeah, so, okay, earlier this year, we had a wonderful turnout for our Proposition L, and we had great support from the community, which means we have continued funding going forward. So the library board actually talked strategically, what do we want to see the library do? And we are now going to start making some motion towards those goals. Part of it this year, so we don't actually get access to Proposition L's money until 2027 when our building is paid off.
Okay.
But we do have reserves, and so we're actually making some moves on furniture upgrades.
Okay.
So we're going to have some new furniture this year, technology upgrades. Those just finished recently in our community rooms. So if you ever come into our community rooms, the technology is all upgraded, and there's touch screens and some fancy tech happening.
There's always a need for upgrades.
Absolutely.
That's always one of those things. Talk about the Library of Things. That's something I think that's such an interesting thing that you all do.
Yeah, we actually started that or announced that at our 100 years of when the Carnegie Library opened in 1922. So in 2022, we unveiled our Library of Things. This is something that's not unique to us. There are lots of libraries that offer these things, but it's more than books. So we have cake pans and telescopes and chocolate fountains and yoga mats and you name it, and we've probably got it. Or if we don't have it and you want it, let us know, and we'll try and get it for you.
Maybe?
Yeah, but it's really there to allow people to check something out that maybe they have an interest in, or they only need it for one time, and they don't want to have to put out the money for an expensive piece of equipment. So they can check it out, see if they like it, and if they do, they can invest their own personal money to, if they want to learn how to play the acoustic guitar. So it allows us to provide that service for the community to broaden their horizons or finish a honey-do list at home.
Here's an off-the-wall question. So has there ever been something that someone asked for that you're like, wow, okay, I think we could, something that really surprised you?
Not surprising,
okay,
but somebody asked if we could put some life vests. Life jackets. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting idea. And as a mother of a toddler, it's always nice to be able to I need a life vest for this one trip. I don't want to go buy one. But we thought about it and decided the liability of trying to create or provide a life-saving apparatus was not in our wheelhouse.
There's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
Passports, that's a big thing too for you guys, right?
Yes, yeah. So if you are needing a passport or needing to renew your passport, you can come to the library, make an appointment. We help you through the entire process, help you fill out the application, make sure all your documentation is lined. We send it off to the Department of State for them to issue your passport. So it's a huge business for us because obviously we get a fee for that, and so it's a nice source of income for the library. But we also recently started TSA PreCheck. Which is actually a completely different department from the government. That's Department of Transportation. But if you want to have that TSA PreCheck for when you fly through the airports, you can come to us and we'll do that process as well.
I didn't know that. That's good to know. Talk about the library just as a community gathering space.
You know, I talked about our community rooms earlier. The amount of organizations and groups that utilize our rooms has nothing to do with the library. It's just us providing a space. And I think a lot of people don't realize that we offer those spaces for organizations, but also that everybody in the community has probably come to the library to use the rooms. They may not be utilizing the library in a traditional sense, but they're at least using the library and for those needs. And so I
Yeah.
think that's where we are truly a community hub, where you may not come to check out a book, you may not come to get on a computer and use the internet. Maybe you're coming for a passport, maybe you're coming for the community room, maybe you're coming to hear a lecture. We offer so much, and we're more than just books.
Well, and if you get somebody in the library for maybe for a meeting for another thing, who knows, they might just wander over and find something they're interested in, right?
Especially if you bring kids. Kids really like the library, and so if you happen to come to the library and you bring your kids, you're not going to leave for a while.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing.
That's right.
All right, we got a couple of minutes here. What are some things you're beyond using that Propel money here coming soon? Any things that you're working on, or any new upgrade systems you're looking at just to make the library more accessible, or add some services or anything like that?
So in the next couple of years, we're going to be adding a bookmobile.
Okay, talk about that.
Yes, so a bookmobile is exactly what it sounds like. It's a library on wheels, and that was one of the strategic priorities of the library board, to create more opportunities for outreach in the community.
Yeah.
So take the library to the people, and the board is actively looking at our options. What kind of a bookmobile is there? There's so many options. I had no idea. I recently went to a conference, and there are massive ones like a giant Greyhound bus size, and then there's little bicycle ones. So and everything in between. So the board's going to sit down and talk with our patrons, talk with our staff, and find out what's going to be the best option for the Cape Girardeau community.
Yeah, and I guess there's just always that room to grow and to outreach and to get more people engaged and involved in the library.
Absolutely.
Well, Katie, we're out of time. It's been so good to talk with you. Thanks for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Focus on Southeast is a collaboration of KRCU Public Radio and the Department of Mass Media here at Southeast Missouri State University. And just a reminder that portions of these conversations will be broadcast on KRCU Public Radio and will also be available online at krcu.org and on the station's YouTube channel. From the Russ Center for Media, I'm Dan Woods. Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next time when we focus on Southeast.